Sorry. Um, I thought the start from both sides was excellent. The completion rates were excellent. The kicking game, chase game from both sides were very good. They come here to compete, and I thought we handled that really well. Few penalties early against us, but again I thought that we handled that really well as well. Very happy at half time when we got in the sheds. But full marks to I think England, who I thought played extremely well, and we had to play really well to match them. And we said a few things at half time that I think we fixed up a few things with our attack, and from there I thought our second half effort was outstanding.
What did you want to focus on?
Oh, just some of the things we've been working on. It's through the whole tour really. It's about our high end of sets and putting the ball in the right places at the back end of our set of six. I was just saying to Cameron, I think at one stage there we were 11 from 11, and putting a lot of pressure on the English side in defence as well. So very pleased with the outcome. I thought we had to work hard, but I think we deserved to win the game.
Maybe the overwhelming favourites against the Kiwis based on form in the tournament so far.
Doesn't matter, Steve. Doesn't matter. It's a funny game, rugby league or any sport really. So there's going to be favourites, there's going to be underdogs. We still got to go out there and you've got to, perform. So we won't get too in front of ourselves. A few things we need to have a look at, to improve our performance. And the Kiwis would have, seen a couple of things that happened to us, particularly on edges defensively. So it's certain things that we need to fix up through the week. Sorry? No, he's fine. He loved it. Test match footy, So I mean, he had a smile on his face. That's all good from our point of view. We don't expect it, but that's two teams going at each other. Both aggressive sides, very physical game. All competitive. That's what happens sometimes. Yeah, Sam had to go to hospital, so we're not quite sure where he's at, but we believe he's got a fractured eye socket, so which unfortunately will probably put him out for the game next week.
That was the high shot as well, Mal?
No, not really. No, I think it was accidental.
Congratulations. The English Republican press will be saying that the gap is now wider on a result like this. How do you think the English game stands at the moment?
Oh, look, I agree with Mal. I thought it was a high-quality game, a very competitive game. I thought the English were very good today. We had to come up with some special plays this afternoon to get points against them. Like the first half, we had the majority of the field position. I don't know how many play the balls we had inside the English 20-metre zone, but it was plenty, and they turned us away fairly often, didn't they? So, as I said, we had to come up with some special plays today with a couple of our individuals out wide to get some points. So, I think the scoreline really didn't reflect the game today, the contest. I thought it was quite physical. They started really well, and they hung in right to the end. They were scoring points late in the game, and I don't think it's widening. The scoreline might look that way, but I think it was a fairly tight game throughout the whole 80 minutes.
Mel, aside from Sam, is that likely to be the 17 you'll take to the final next week?
Yeah, definitely. So we've sort of internally made no secret of that as well. So aside from Sam, everyone's fit and healthy, got through the game. So from combinations, cohesion, it's good to obviously having Cameron and Cooper and John and Darius. That spine certainly helps us, doesn't it? When we look at our execution and taking advantage of that field position that Cameron was talking about.
Now, when you said about getting back to number one, did you think you could do it in 6 months?
We didn't even think about that. We obviously it was part of what we talked about back in May, but it was all about every time we put a green gold jersey on, we try to play to our best of our ability. So And I obviously believe that if we do that, we'll get back to number one at some stage.
Cameron, how much do you think you've improved since Perth?
Yeah, look, there's small areas in our game which we have improved. There's still things today that I think we'd all agree that we still need to work on. Small areas like discipline in our defence. We give away a couple of penalties that released a bit of pressure off England today, and it's happened throughout the tournament. But I think that the biggest improvement since Perth is the cohesion. We had 4 debutants in Perth. All of those guys now have several tests under their belt. They're all playing really consistent football, and they're playing to our game plan, which is great. So I just like the resilience within the group at the moment. We'll put on a fair bit of pressure early in the match today. They started well. They were taking our line. They got the first points, but we just hung in there and played to the way we wanted to play, and we come through. So that's the most pleasing thing about it.
Cameron, you played a lot of games with the front. Performance today, would that be kind of
Yeah, look, he was very good. Yeah, very good. I thought he just played a really professional game today, which is what we're all accustomed to. He took a lot of good options. He actually, he ran the football a fair bit today. He asked a lot of questions of their defence, and he had a pretty good kicking game, particularly in the second half. So, look, he was great. Missed the game last week. He had a rest against the Kiwis, but returned strongly this week. And he's a champion of our game, and champions of our game play well in the big matches, and it was no different today.
Now there are a lot of penalties today. Do you expect to find them in the referee?
Kind of hope not, Steve. I'm kind of hoping that the penalties are reduced and we see, a game of attrition. So the ball stays into play, and I think that's what both teams like, to play like. So, but then again, we can't control any of that. And what Cameron mentioned is that we can't control the number of penalties against us. So, but the resilience was really good in the squad throughout the whole game, really. And that's what makes us pretty proud. So, regardless of what we have to confront as a team, got the ability to overcome it.
Now, what concerns you most about the Kiwis?
They'll probably feel they're lucky. They've got a chance, and they still believe they can beat us. So there's no doubt that they'll come really prepared, feeling that they've got a second chance, and because of that, they'll want to play as best they possibly can.
Now, you've got Scottish heritage on your mum's side. We're happy with Friday's result.
Aye, lad.
Was that Scottish?
I don't know. Is it? Could be Irish, could be Welsh, I don't know. Yorkshire, I don't know.
Cameron, most people don't give the Kiwis a chance. How do you see it?
Well, I recall that was the same outlook from media and public in 2008 in the World Cup in Australia, and it was the same outlook by the media and the public in 2010 in the Four Nations. Played in both of those matches where everyone thought it was just Australia were going to turn up and win, and we didn't. So, we're not we're not under any illusions about who we're facing this week and what they're capable of doing. They're ranked number one in the world at the moment, and coming off their match on the weekend, I think they'll be particularly desperate to show everyone what they're capable of doing. So, for us, our mindset needs to be the same as it has been all season for the Kangaroos, and that is preparing the best we can do throughout the week, and making sure that, come next Sunday, that we're ready to go to play our best game of football. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about form throughout the season, it doesn't matter about form in this tournament. It's whoever plays the best game of football at Anfield on Sunday. That's who will win.
You must have a lot of confidence, though, and the Kiwis are massively down on confidence.
Well, I don't. Are they? I don't know. I'm not in. I'm not in their camp. I don't think they would be. You know, they've got a very good football side. Yeah, look, we played them last week and we won. Just, you know, they had an opportunity on the bell to beat us. So you know, I reckon they probably would have finished that game and thought they were quite unlucky not to beat us actually. So. Yeah, we're not too concerned about their thought process or how they're going to approach their game. As I said, you know, the most important thing to us is our preparation and making sure everyone's mentally prepared for a big game.
Ken, you mentioned 2008, 2010. Will you mention that to the boys throughout the week?
I don't think that needs to be mentioned. No, there's only a handful of guys that have been involved in both those matches. I've been really proud of the group over this tour, including Perth. You know, we've been away for a long time now, and you know, this is it's got a good mix of youth and experience. There's a lot of energy within our group at the moment, so there's no need to try and, you know, bog the guys down with the past. We just need to worry about what's happening now. Obviously enjoy the result today. You know, we had a goal of coming here and beating the English side, and we've achieved that. It's nice to be in a final, but we just need to take our day by day sort of approach and get that sorted.
Why are you passing when on field and talking?
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, look, it's this is what sport's about, isn't it? You know, playing in the biggest stadiums in the world, and we're up there before the tournament kicked off, you know, for the launch, and just walking in, there's an aura about the place, particularly with the new grandstand there. It's pretty special. Most of us have only ever seen it on TV. Don't know if the crowd's going to put their song on when we walk out, but look, I'm all the guys are really looking forward to it. You know, it's going to be, you know, a great occasion, and hopefully it's a good spectacle for the crowd up there, and we play well.